growing up in the mean, tough, rough gang-infested city of Compton. As a young kid, Mad Dog was arrested for robbery. At the age of 8, he was given a 45-day sentence in juvenile hall. This was Mad Dog's first time away from his family. He constantly fought with staff and inmates. After completing his sentence, Mad Dog was returned home. But he was different. Many say he became distant and agitated. By the time Mad Dog turned 12, he had already been incarcerated over 6 times. He had become a Compton gang member. Blue became his favorite color. Mad Dog knew his mother could not afford the clothes he wanted, so he started burglarizing homes and businesses to get money and items to sell. There were plenty of times he and his siblings would eat leftover food for up to a week. Mad Dog and his cousin would go into grocery stores, fill up shopping baskets with food and other items. When no one was looking, they would push these shopping carts out the door. Many will call this stealing, but Mad Dog said it's called survival. His mother did not want the food because she knew the food was stolen, so he would just leave the food and run off before his mother could stop him. Later that day, he was told of a stolen truck that was full of merchandise. When Mad Dog arrived at the stolen truck, he had to wait his turn before his crew could get on the truck. In the hood, there is always a chain of command. Once on the truck, he started passing items to his crew. A short time later, someone yelled, "Police! Police, run!" But before Mad Dog could run, he had several guns pointed at him, and all he heard was yelling commands to lay down. He was arrested and taken to Compton substation. Mad Dog was transferred to Long Beach City Jail. This is where the crime was committed. The authorities informed Mad Dog that the driver was shot when the truck was stolen. The police knew Mad Dog did not commit the crime, but he was convicted and given a 1-year sentence to juvenile detention. While locked up, he consistently got into fights and rebelled against authority. This behavior led him to the isolation box on several different occasions. Once released, Mad Dog was arrested a month later for gang fighting and robbery. He was sentenced to a year for violating his probation. Throughout the next few years, he was sentenced to several other juvenile facilities. At this point in his life, he was no doubt a hardened gangster, and he started to think the system was out to get him. Between the ages of 12 and 17, Mad Dog was never free in society for longer than 30 days at a time, but on his 17th birthday, he was free, and this called for a celebration. So Mad Dog and his homies stole a car to joyride and rob people. That night, Mad Dog got into a gang shootout and was shot. Since it was his birthday, he refused to seek medical attention. Instead, he had his homies drop him off at the house. Once his mother saw all the blood from her son's gunshot wound, she started yelling and screaming frantically. Medical personnel was called, but he refused medical treatment. At this point in his life, he accepted death. Mad Dog said death was his best friend because he could always rely on death. After Mad Dog kept slipping in and out of consciousness, his older homeboy dropped him off at the hospital, where he spent several days recuperating. While in the hospital, he got word that the authorities were looking for him. Later that night, he decided to leave the hospital against doctor's advice. Once home, he knew he had to grab some of his belongings and get away. Once he tucked his shotgun in his leather coat, he headed out the door, hopping on crutches. But he didn't get far, because just then, several police cars, along with a police helicopter, surrounded him, while giving strict commands to lay flat on the ground. But he didn't comply due to his gunshot wound, so the police approached him with caution. Once they were close enough, Mad Dog was tackled to the ground and taken to Compton Police Substation, where he was placed in a small interrogation room that had 2 chairs and a table. After sitting there for hours, finally 2 plainclothes cops walked in. They informed Mad Dog that he was being charged with murder, robbery, with special circumstance allegations, which if convicted, you will get the death penalty. They also said there was witnesses to the crime, and it would be in his best interest to snitch. Mad Dog just sat there staring a hole through the cops. The police then said, when they catch the others who supposedly committed the murder with me, they would be given the same opportunity to snitch. After not saying a word for hours, the cops knew this interview wasn't going anywhere. Mad Dog was then transferred to the Los Angeles County Jail at the age of 17 to begin the fight to save his life from the death penalty.